Hi. Woo! Good evening,
Coach
Jamar.
D. What's up, baby?
It is Thursday, 6 p.m. Here we are on E360. My name is Damian Minna. This is my friend Jamar Spell.
What's
We
up,
are
Vested?
vested, and we are here tonight to create. Oh, man. Let's do that again. Woo, woo.
Hey.
Inspire creating power. Inspire creating power. Jamar, how are you, man?
What's up, man? I'm awesome, man. How are you? Great Thursday, brother. Tech team, what's up? Love you.
What's up? You know what?
Yeah.
It's a permanent fixture, by the way, everybody. She is always going to be there, right there in the back.
Yeah.
That's the little. She plays that role. She can't just be absent all the time. We decided we made like a executive decision and she's not in the picture. Yes.
Boom. Right. And one day there will be a team of the tech team. So just want to speak that into the universe, right?
Yeah, why not?
Hey, man.
So
How you doing today?
I'm all right, Jamar. Talk to me about last week. What's going on? Where we at now?
Attitude of gratitude. You know, looking forward to our talk today, man. It's such an honor to have our guest that is going to be with us today, and I'm excited, man, to learn from this gentleman, this brother, and to shine light in the world. And I'm excited to see what develops, what we create in this moment together, man. And I just want to tell the Vested community, thank you for being part of our journey. You see, we're here on episode 37. One day will be 377, and one day 3,700, and one day episode 37,000.
I'm in. It's Thursday.
Come on, man. So talk to me, man.
Jamar, the other day I was talking to somebody about all the projects that I'm currently working on, and there's not millions involved. And to me, there are millions involved. And it's like, to try to understand this concept, I think we're going to get into it a little bit today, is being able to package something in a way where you can look at it and appreciate it for all that it is, while not painting it as something that it isn't. Like, you have to be able to accept what's in front of you, but at the same time, you don't have to focus on anything that you don't want to. So if you look at the stuff that lifts you up, then you can live a life of positivity, even while there's all that other stuff as well. And I think we're going to talk about that a little tonight. So before we do, Jamar, tell me a little bit about your buddy. I mean, you ran into him last week, and why did you think that he'd be a good guest for our show?
Man, thank you for that, Coach D. It was a few weeks ago, and we were out having dinner, and I ran into Brother Kenny, and right away it was like, boom, our spirits connected, because we hadn't seen each other for years. About 11 years ago, he reminded me of the time. About 11 years ago, we got connected through a near and dear friend of both of ours. And this woman, this human being, she recently just transitioned to heaven through her cancer journey. But the woman, Kimberly DeTierra Williams, was anyone who knew her, knew that she was the salt of the earth, knew that she was just one of the most amazing people with the biggest heart, compassion, just full of joy and love. So when she connected us, introduced us together, it was just already that level of respect because of the person who connected us. And how we got reconnected a few weeks ago, we just got caught up real quick, and then quick passing. I think he was with his mom, and his mom, I think his mom was in the car, and we were just talking real quick, and he was catching me up on what he's doing in the world. And I was like, man, you got to see Vested. We want to highlight you. If you're doing the same thing we're doing, you're just doing it in a different way. And man, let's talk about what you're doing. Let's highlight you, and let's help more people out there. And are you open to that? And man, he stepped up to the plate. And so I'm grateful for him to be here today, for him to share his light, highlight his journey, what he's doing, what he feels he's called to do right now. And with that being said, man, I want to welcome our brother, Kenny Perkins, man. You there?
Let's bring him on, Kenny.
Hey.
Oh,
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys so much for bringing me on the show today. I'm super excited.
Man, all talk oncology. Talk to us, man.
Oh, my goodness, man. All Talk Oncology is a platform for cancer patients and their loved ones. Where you can come and we empower cancer patients through insightful conversations that reinforces confidence and certainty about their cancer condition. So excited about that. Yeah.
Man. Well, Kenny, listen, I'm going to make an exception for you, but we don't usually use that type of profanity on this show. But keep throwing around a C word like that. But since we inspire, create, and empower here, I think that it's important to be able to look at something as serious as cancer. I mean, we talk about like serious as a heart attack. We'll cut it out like cancer, but people go through this and they struggle in ways that really makes them question everything. And I think that I'm really excited to be able to have you on the show, to be able to share some of the things that inspired you to be able to put you in the position you're at right now.
Absolutely.
Man. No, go, bro. Go. Hey, you know, Kenny, it's your house, baby. You're part of the community now, man. But talk to us. What's been you? Are we dropping this now?
I think, guys.
Hey, Kenny, look up, bro. Kenny, look up, bro.
Don't watch. There it is. We warned you. All right. Go ahead, Jamar.
Kenny, man, you've been in the industry, in this arena for 20 years. Can you take us a little bit on that journey of, how you actually got into what you were doing in oncology and then how you transitioned to what you're doing now? What did that look like? What was the inspiration behind how you got to this point today?
Hey, I love that. Let me tell you, I didn't start out saying I'm going to get into the medical field. I thought I was going to be an architect, to be honest with you. You
look like an architect.
When I was a young kid, they used to ask me, what do you want to do? And I was like, I'm going to be an architect. And sure enough, a person that's their mindset is driven all through high school and whatnot. I took architectural classes, AutoCAD, everything I could, so I can fulfill my dream. But during the time of graduation, there was a recession. And at that time, no one told me recessions, they come and they go. So my dreams of becoming an architect was put on hold. And at that point, I ended up getting a job and as a radiation or as a radiology assistant. That was the official title.
Wow.
And so what I would do, I would take patients back and forth to X-ray. And so one day I ended up taking a patient to this building that was outside of the hospital, which was kind of different, right? I was going outside of the hospital in this different area, and it was radiation oncology. And I start talking, curious, asking questions, 18, 19 years old, you're asking questions about this. And what I found about radiation oncology is that those patients, they come in for treatments anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks at a time, Monday through Friday, which was completely different from X-ray, right? X-ray, hey, you fall out of the tree, you land on your arm. Let's go to the hospital, take an X-ray, see if it's broken. It's broken, take a picture. Hey, I may never see you again. So that was X-ray. But radiation oncology, that allowed you to have a relationship, 4 to 8 weeks. So that right there was my draw, because I just love people. I love connecting. So that was kind of how my intro to that. And then as I started inquiring about it, they told me, oh, you don't want to do that. It's depressing. You can't tell an 18 or 19-year-old what to do. So I was like, oh, I'm definitely going to do it now. So, right. So that's kind of how I got into that. But in my mind, I was saying, you know what? If there's going to be a cure for cancer, I better have a backup. So I went into radiologic technology first, got my license on that, and then went into school for radiation oncology as a radiation therapist. So that's kind of how I ended up in this field. And yeah, here we are.
And how long have you been in the field?
How long? Goodness, man. Over 20 years now. Over 20 years.
It's your first barbecue, what you're saying.
It's not my first barbecue, And I would tell you, and I mean, I guess given radiation, I mean, barbecue and radiation, I guess that can be synonymous. I mean, people say you get burned. It's not always the case, but you know, that's kind of like a little jokey joke.
Man.
Hold on real quick. We gotta, I need some clarity. Listen, we're not on Vested here about really backup plans. We kind of unfold the big plan and how it was presented to us, right? So bear with me for a minute, but you're starting off about architecture and then you drop into what you're doing. But in terms of inspiration, we're talking about darkness here. We're talking about cancer. People are dying. People are scared to death. People are not able to pay their bills and having to face their maker. Like, we got a lot of heavy stuff here. You went from architect to, man, you might die, let me help you out. Help me with the middle part. Where did the inspiration come from?
Well, the inspiration came from connecting, for sure, right? I mean, that was the draw. And understanding that being in a position where you can help people and connect with them, that to me, that was golden. Where everyone else was like, it's depressing. To me, to be able to be in a position to inspire, to make a difference, oh man, sign me up for that. So that's kind of how that came about. Not understanding how much I would fall in love with this, you know, as you come in, you know, as a radiation therapist, we treat probably anywhere from 30 to 40 patients a day. I mean, and they're scheduled about every 15 minutes. So imagine how many patients I've treated over the last 20 years. It's been thousands. But let me tell you this. One of the things that you start to pick up on, if you pay attention, right? If you really pay attention to people, you start to see patterns on behaviors, and people who come in and they have that optimistic attitude and they're ready, right? They're ready for the fight. And then you see those that come in and they're already defeated, right? So how do you inspire those people, right? Because that's a challenge. So radiation oncology, being in that position, you know, I never even thought about it until you brought this up right now. But, you know, I always try to find a way to make people's life happy, because I only had them for 15 minutes. So with that 15 minutes, I was going to make whatever problem you had go away, you know, and at the same time, leave the door open for a deeper discussion if you wanted to have that. So,
Kenny, people with compound fractures need love too, man. That really hurts. You got a bone popping out the side of your arm. I mean, they need love. You went with cancer, bro. And you're, to me, okay, so you say architect, and I just met you, right?
Yeah.
Architecture is about the guts of the building, what creates the inside. So to me, I see a transition that you make, and maybe you're making the connection, but I see it pretty strongly that you went towards the insides of studying a building to the insides of studying a person. What inspired you to want more out of looking inside people? Because you could take a picture, but that's not why you got into this. Tell me more.
You know what, man? I think that people need help, you know, and I think we get that from, I say this, our values come from the way we were raised and our experiences in life. And so I contribute my family for sure. My families were caregivers, you know, they helped people who they didn't know, you know, allowed them to come in and sleep on their floors and help them out, get them back on their feet, nurture them. You know, I never thought that would affect me in any way, or that had anything to do with my decision making. But you look at the field I'm in, I again, it's a point that I never thought about. But looking at how my family helped people, I definitely wanted to do that, because you know what? There's not a lot of that, you know, and I love people, you know, I'm a people person. You ask Jamar, we get out. We're out and about. You know, I'm definitely a social person. So how does that translate into cancer? Well, I'm helping, right? I'm giving you radiation in order to kill those cancer cells in your body. So that's kind of the transition, as you talked about. I never thought about it, but that's a good analogy. Looking inside of a building, and to now helping people rid them of cancer. I never thought about it like that. That's great. That's a great point.
Well, you look at this here, right? The message today is how will cancer change your life, right? And you think about, we all know someone in some capacity that has experienced firsthand or secondhand through the effects of cancer. My mom, I love you, Mom. My mom is a 2-time cancer dominator, you know, went through breast cancer twice, about 8 years apart. And I remember one day, it's so vivid, where I went to my mom's house, and my mom had, she was running on such a low amount of fumes that she could, her walking, her steps were so small, because that was all the energy she had at that time to move. And she was hunched over, and I just saw my mom going through that vibration. And I didn't realize at that time, you know, the magnitude of the situation until we look back and just saw how badass my mom is. And then my dad also too. My dad went through cancer, and he was supernaturally healed. He went through throat cancer, but I saw him go through the challenge. My dad was deemed terminal by medical science, that Western medical, that there was no cure. The doctor said, your dad is terminal. I saw God supernaturally heal my dad. So you want to talk about how will cancer change your life? Before we go on to the creation, man, can you just share with us, you know, how does it change people's lives? Because you're seeing it from a different perspective. You know, how have you seen it change the lives of people?
Well, you know, I say one, and this is interesting, because how cancer will change your life depends on you. And so what do I mean by that? I mean, it's how you approach that. And how you approach it is a choice. Now,
that's good.
It's pretty interesting, because, like I said, as I've done this for over 20 years, treated thousands of patients, and I paid attention to behavior. I paid attention to people and how they responded, how they interacted. And so it would be times where people would come in, and you can tell that person, they have a great support team. They have great values of how they're going to get into this, and their mindset is there. Whereas you've seen people that came in that may not have had that type of mindset, and it was already defeated in a sense. And you can't come in defeated. And this is what I say. This is what I say to people. You know, cancer is a Goliath-like situation in front of you. And how do you handle a Goliath-like situation, right? And you think of that story in the Holy Writings, it talks about this Goliath who was amazing. He was so astronomical, you know, as far as his height was concerned. And even the trained soldiers were too afraid, right? They were too afraid to attack and to engage that. And when you look at David, right, he's just a small human being, but his spirit, his attitude on how he was going to face Goliath made all the difference in the world.
Wow.
So when you talk about people who come in with cancer, how are you going to attack this Goliath-like situation?
What's up, Mom? Yo, Kenny's my mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, what's up, Mom? Love you, Mom. Yeah. Hey, but you're wrap up that thought, because we got a video. It's so amazing that you're on this thought right now, because we got a video that we're going to tee up that's going to carry your thought right through.
Yeah. And my point is just, in order to handle cancer, you have to have that you're ready for battle. You know, you're going to battle. And let me tell you, as you battle this, you will find things about you that you've never known before, you know.
Wow.
And that has been my experience. That has been I have been an eyewitness to it. But that's kind of still the beginning stages of how All Talk Oncology came about. That's just been my exposure in this field.
No pun intended. Hey, man, we about to hop into that right now. Yo, tech team, can you tee us up? Check this out, guys.
Hold my breath, hush my head, count my steps. I need this more than ever. Might feel strange, but I'm not afraid. Every day I try but can't forget it. Hey, I need a new way. That's just a give and take. Make mistakes, keep on hoping for the day I'll fly high. As long as my heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. My heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going. Keep on going. My heart is open, I know I can keep on going, keep on going.
I love
Wow.
cartoons.
Man, thank you, Scarlett Contra, for that. And you think about that message, right, as just a cartoon of a young girl who was going through the sarcoma cancer, and the attitude and how you were talking about that, Kenny, that you've recognized the patterns, that there's two schools of people: those who are believing that I will overcome, and there's those that are going through the lower vibration of the experience.
Absolutely.
And man, so
Thank you.
wow. Sarah May, what's up? What's up, Sarah May?
Hey Jamar, let's jump into creation. I'm itching. I got one
Yeah. Hey, we about to talk about how we got to All Talk. Come on. Hey, Kenny, look up, bro. Look up.
Love it.
Coach D, tee it up, bro.
Okay, man. Okay, listen. You talk about two schools of thought, two different types of people, but we're all human and we're all in this struggle together.
Yes.
And I'm sick of struggling. So there's a realness to what happens when you found that you've been invaded. Like that something's happened where your whole life's going to change and there's nothing that you can do about it. And it's really a matter of how you react. And that's how you develop your integrity and who you are. So some people are built to be fighters. Some people are built to respond and to rise up. And that's who they are. That's how they express themselves. But if you want to be totally real, whether you're a fighter or not, it's a scary situation. And I'd like to talk to you about, once you come across those people that aren't built for this, and that you say there's one of two different schools of people, I'm having a tough time. Well, not a tough time, but like my heart goes out to not giving up on the people that you pretty much know won't make it or can't make it, or they're going to have a really tough time. How are you supposed to create, when you run into these people that you know that their hurt is bigger than them and they can't necessarily hold the weight, because they're part of the whole, and we still have to love them compassionately the same way we would love somebody that you know is going to make it, because there's going to be some that you know will make it that don't, and then there's going to be some that you don't think that will that do. So how do you do it?
Great question. Great question. I love that. And I just want to clarify that it's not that those that come in that don't have the right attitude are not going to make it. No, I'm not saying that, but they definitely have a harder time emotionally getting through that. And the resilience to bounce back takes a little bit longer, from what I've noticed. But you're absolutely right. No one's going to be left behind with All Talk Oncology. All Talk Oncology is a platform that we built, again, to empower cancer patients through insightful conversations that reinforces confidence and certainty about their cancer condition, transforming a vulnerable situation into a manageable one. And so this is what we're doing here. Sometimes when you don't have that ability to fight, cancer coaching can be a tremendous asset. And that's what we also have. All Talk Oncology, we also have coaching involved where we can help you and navigate you through. Because what you said, Coach D, is this. Here we are, we're living our best life, so to speak, right? We're enjoying ourselves, nothing's wrong with us. And, we do our checkup and then we get the call, right? And all of a sudden you have cancer, right? How do you deal with that? No one's prepared for that. No one looked up, oh, if I deal with cancer, this is how I'm going to react. It's overwhelming. The news is overwhelming. You look on the internet and search engines and you're trying to find about your specific diagnosis. Is terrifying. The amount of information is overabundant. So All Talk Oncology, what you can get here is that you can find someone with your specific diagnosis, find out how they got through it, find out their mindset, what they did nutrition wise, how they had a support team. That is extremely important, because I tell you one thing, the way you start your cancer treatments is not the way you're going to end. It's like, if I can give an analogy, it's like coming in as a caterpillar, right? They going through a metamorphosis, and the way that caterpillar started, we know what that turns into at the end, right? And so the same thing with the analogy, the way you started is not the way you're going to end up. And so anyone that's dealing with cancer and this horrendous disease, I say that, what? All Talk Oncology was created for this. It was for you. Because what I've seen as a radiation therapist, right? You come in and they start their treatments and everyone's smiling, right? If I put on my face, you don't know what I'm going through. But when I'm at home, do you know my disquieting thoughts? Do you know that when I can't sleep at night and what's going on through my head? Am I going to make it or not? And after you finish your treatment and you ring the bell and everyone's clapping for you and you go home, and it's like, what happens now? Right? I mean, what do I do now? I mean, I just had surgery, I just had chemotherapy, I had radiation, and now I'm done. Like, what happens? Cancer coaching can help you through that, right? All Talk Oncology is a platform that you can go to and listen to people on what they've done and what happens to life after cancer.
Wow. Hey, Kenny, that's very similar to what we're up to with VESTED. If you think about it, that's what the whole world's going through right now. We've all gotten a phone call saying, guess what? Your life's going to change and it's never going to be the same. there might be masks, there might be sicknesses, there's definitely going to be fear. The television's the same, the grocery stores, nothing's the same. So I think that at the time that you're offering this to people that are currently going through stuff that they could really attach to, I mean, more than just cancer. I can't even imagine having cancer right now. I mean, think about it. Everything's got to be so different. I mean, you see it firsthand. I mean, we all need a little bit of help, and coaching is a good way to go, and being able to share on like a podcast like we're doing right now is another way. So thank you very much for offering the platform to be able to help people. Let
me tell you, Coach D, Jamar, one of the things, I had this idea, and I started, I want to make sure I started this in COVID. This platform was created in COVID. And when you create something, you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be, or you have a vision, but you don't know how people are going to receive that. And let me tell you, in the short few months that we have been in existence, we've had some phenomenal guests. We had Jean Trebek on our show. We've had Ananda Lewis on our show.
Come on.
We have Merrill Hodge, NFL running back, Pittsburgh Steelers and Chicago Bears, ESPN analyst, Chef Ryan Scott on our show. So my point is that, yeah, you have an idea of what you want, but when people like this come in and validate exactly what you're saying, it helps you to appreciate you're on the right path. And to be clear here, the world just went through a pandemic, and we're barely coming out of it. And so we got a small glimpse of what cancer patients go through, right? Depending on what channel you turned on, was the type of information that you received. And depending on who you talked to was the type of information that you had. So the overwhelming fear and the terrifying event about a pandemic was there. Well, that's what cancer patients go through. They get hit with this. They don't know anything about it. They're trying to scramble and find out about their diagnosis. All Talk Oncology can help them with that. It can empower them with that, so that when they go to their cancer team and they can make informed decisions. That's our goal.
He did it, Jamar. We got to do it now. He said it. Yeah. Come on now. Let's do the empowerment thing.
Hey, empower, baby, empower. We got a website coming. We got boom. Look up.
There we go. All right, so Kenny, there's a lot of online content. There is you and I and Jamar. We're not Bo Jackson. We're not Steve-O. We're not Mike Tyson. Why am I going to get online and give your podcast a minute of my time?
Well, let me tell you this. Let me tell you about these numbers before I get into that question. 19.3 newly diagnosed patients was estimated for the year 2020. Where are all those people going to go? Everyone that's overwhelmed with this new diagnosis, where they're going to go?
You go Kenny, is that 19,000, 19 million? What's that number?
That's 19.3 million people diagnosed worldwide.
Wow. Last year.
Wow. Last year.
New cases.
Where are you going to go for your information that you can rely on, that's trustworthy, that people have gone through exactly what you have gone through and have overcome it, or have found strategies that can get you through the day? We just finished talking about, well, how are people going to get through the day? The people that maybe don't have that resilience, right? You go into All Talk Oncology and you click on a Merrill Hodge, right? And Merrill talks about find a way. He says his little daughter came in and he was on the couch depressed. He said to himself, if I ever got cancer, I will not be able to handle that. And he got cancer. He said he was on the couch depressed, and his little daughter came up to him and says, "Daddy, find a way."
Wow.
And what he did from that point on looking up different people who have fought cancer and battled it and won. And then he started to emulate that. He put himself in races, with a 5K. He joined a basketball league. I mean, Merrill Hodge is a different animal. But my point, you can take little gems from how he attacked his cancer. And so All Talk Oncology gives you a real life solution through other people that will empower you. So through these conversations, we're empowering you so that you can get through your cancer condition.
Man, hey, let's check out the site real quick, Coach D.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Tech team. Man.
Hey.
So, bro, this is you launching the platform, putting the light out there, Apple, Spotify, got out there on Heart. And you're being a beacon, man. You're being a lighthouse for those people in the world who are going through.
Absolutely. We're doing our best.
I'm sorry, my friend.
No, go ahead, Dr. D.
Well, I was just going to say, I really love how I asked you a question about why we should listen or why we should go to your podcast. And you answered with another question. It wasn't to funnel everybody so that they could get in there and buy products and click like. It was, listen, ask yourself this question. If you got that phone call, where are you going to go? Where are you going to turn? And how can you rely on the information that you get nowadays when it's really hard because there's so much of it? So I think it's important to explore, and it's really cool that you give people the opportunity to do that. But I'm not going to let you go that easy. I appreciate the value you're bringing to the world.
Thank you.
I need to know more about you, my friend. I need to know the nugget inside your heart that makes you feel the need to share with others. I mean, have you had cancer? Has anybody in your family had it? I mean, sure, you see it happen, but there's something in you that empowers you. What is it?
People ask me that all the time because of my passion. I think because of my passion. They said, have you had cancer? And the answer is no, I never had cancer. And, but I think when you're empathetic, right? And empathy is being able to put yourself in the other person's shoes. And when you can put yourself in that person's position and feel what they're going through, you got to help. You want to help. You know, we're on this earth for a short period of time. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that we go through this. You know, a lot of people blame God through this situation. I have gotten a lot of that. You know, why did God allow this to happen to me and whatnot? If I can give you any information, if I can help you along this journey and to be someone that you don't want to give up, and someone that you can turn to and say, you know, because of you, I was able to get through this. And I always use this example, and I want to, and it's not in a negative way, but the example is, look at the Black Panther, right? Here it was, this man, we look back now and we see how phenomenal he was. All the roles and his acting and everything that he's done with cancer. And you're like, how did he do that? But my thing is, how much more powerful and inspiring would that have been if he had let other people know about that, and who others may be in suffering? I mean, like, if he can do that, I know I can do this. You know, but I think a lot of times cancer is that, it's taboo. I have cancer. That means I'm going to die. And I'm going to tell you, 20 years in this business, it does not mean that you are going to die. I have seen people who have battled and have won. So, you know, I'm here to All Talk Oncology. Again, you can always go to alltalkoncology.com, put in your information. We are here. This is what drives Kenny, helping people. You know, I'm a godly man. I think that, you know, there's more happiness in giving than there is receiving. And if I can give, the blessings that come back to me will be tenfold. Not because I'm looking for a blessing, but just because giving is a blessing.
Right. Come on, bro. Hey, Coach G, I got a question. I got a question real quick. Tech team, she asked a question, Kenny. She said, how do we support all the after effects of cancer? She said her sister has been cancer-free for many years, but there are many after effects. So how do we, as supporting, encouraging friends and family members, empower other people who have gone through the process or going through the process, or be there for them? How do we do that?
That goes to what happens after treatment. Remember, I said that you ring the bell, right, and everybody claps for you, and that's a real thing. After your last treatment, you ring a bell and the staff claps, and then you go home, and then you have to deal with that. And so, cancer coaching comes in that can help you with that, right? How do you navigate through some of the issues that you have after the after effects? How do you not panic the next time you have to go through a scan? And is the cancer going to be there? Coaching can help you with that. These are real life issues. These are real life situations that happen. And, I think it's not enough. It's not enough out there. Enough of us out there. We're out there. My goal with All Talk Oncology is to go global, is to be global. When I said to you 19.3 million people were diagnosed in 2020, I need to go global. We need to help as many people as possible so that they can be empowered, so they have the understanding. And then they can know, if I go to All Talk Oncology, if I go there, I know Kenny he knows somebody that can take me or connect me here. I know that he can connect me because he's connected with some people over in this country, or he knows a doctor in this city. You want to be that.
DW, what's up?
Want to be that place. Want to be that place.
All right, Jamar, I got one more hot one for him, and then it's all yours. Okay, so Kenny, I'm your oncologist. I just called you up. Okay, now listen. For those that beat cancer, for those that don't beat cancer, we're all going to die. None of us are making it out of here alive. So to me, it's more about not necessarily how or when you die, but more along the lines of how you spend the time while you're alive. So I'm your oncologist. I'm calling you. I'm telling you, Kenny, you got cancer. You have 6 months to live. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, no one can really tell you exactly when it's time to go. So, I had a guess, and the doctor gave her a specific time. She's still here. I had a guest on our show. I think it was the third episode. Vanessa Marlette. She had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. 7 years later, she's still here. So, giving you a number of estimate of where things, what your time left is on Earth, it is what it is.
Kenny, I'm your doctor. You have cancer. You have 6 months. I love all the stories, but now it's in your lap. What do you do with your 6 months? What do you do with your opportunity to utilize your time now that you know there's more intense need to get more out of it? How do you like that? That's better.
If Kenny Perkins, because I can't speak for everyone else, if Kenny Perkins was diagnosed and only had 6 months to live, I would go to what I value most, and that is my friends and my family. I will enjoy and be grateful for each day that I currently do have, and what I do with that day to inspire someone else to not give up. And even though I've been diagnosed and had and been given a specific amount of time, I don't necessarily going to give in and say that's it for me. You know, I have a choice on how I want to live my last days. And so I want to make sure that I live those last days as valuable and as precious and as loving as possible.
Wow.
Listen, I asked you that for.
Oh, he's like, he asked you that for a reason. I think that's what he's about to say. For a reason. Yeah. Look at, oh man, Mom, I love you. I love you, Mom. Hey, my mom called you a can coach. What's up? You can't do it. Hey, I got a question for you as we get Coach D back from the freezer. Coach D, you're frozen, bro. You're coming back. So, hey, that's part of the virtual world right now, right? That's the way it rolls.
It really is.
But I got a question for you, Kenny. And maybe you don't know this answer as we wrap up. This last year, we all experienced the global pandemic, and there was an intense rush for every country to come up with a cure for COVID-19. How come the entire world can laser focus on a cure and develop that in such a short period of time, yet we have been battling cancer as a nation for decades? Why do you think that is? And why do you think the cure for COVID came so fast?
You know,
no pressure, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have government agencies coming through the window in like 12 minutes. Maybe SEALs hopping through the window.
You know, I don't have the answer to that. I'll say that, and we can speculate. We can sit here and speculate and you come up with our own conclusions. But the fact of the matter is this: there is no cure right now. And it's been estimated by the year 2040, and I'm talking less than 20 years from now, they're estimating that there will be 27.5 million people that are newly diagnosed with cancer. Where are those people going to go? Who are they going to turn to? Well, you got to go to All Talk Oncology, because until we get more advancement, until we get more answers, until we get better cures or predisposed, outcomes, we have to do our best, to get through this. And so I think of my friend, she lost her battle. She was a little fighter. She was a cancer warrior. I think of my friend, Jean Trebek, who lost her wonderful husband, and the thousands and millions of others that have lost. But you know what? Through this battle, I say this: their fight is not in vain, because what they left behind, and allowing their family to see how they fought to win this Goliath-like situation, it inspired others to do something like this. So let's keep it moving.
Wow. Coach D, welcome back, bro.
I missed you.
I miss you, man.
Well, I'm back in time to thank my friend Kenny here for all that he does. I just am blown away, man. I mean, people like yourself are the change in the world that we need to see. You've decided to empower people through not what you've gone through from the inside or physically, but what you've seen spiritually and emotionally. So the little tech team lady sees the world through this very same lens, and I'd like to thank the tech team for doing all the things that most people don't see. And Kenny, thank you for all of what you do that people don't see. My friend Jamar will now wrap it up and ask you a wonderful question.
Oh, man. Hey, Vested community, we love you. We're here to inspire, create, empower, to connect with other people in the world who have that same heart and vibration like our brother Kenny, today on All Talk Oncology, and he's inspiring and creating, empowering those out there who are going through that journey. And we all know someone who has experience, is experiencing, or will experience the cancer battle. You know, I want to remind everyone what our brother said, and this was something I heard very clearly. No one can number our days. No human being can tell us when our last day is our last day. It doesn't matter what you believe in, the universe, energy. I believe in the creator of the universe. And he's the beginning, he's the end. And he's the decision maker of when that time comes for all of us. And we don't always understand why that time comes or when it comes. But I just want to encourage anyone out there going through a battle to keep the hope, to be resilient, to do your best to do it for your loved ones. And if you know anyone going through that battle, encourage them to connect to All Talk Oncology. You know, let's shine the light out there for those who need it. And Brother Kenny, I just want to tell you, thank you, man. Invested community, you already know how we roll. It doesn't matter what it is that you're doing, whatever mission, whatever brand, whatever rocket you want to launch in the world today. The question is, are you vested?